Hey, so this video is going to be on how to add an image to a podcast on our website. So the first step we want to do is let's go to the internet. Let's go to Journey's website so I can show you exactly which picture we're talking about. Off to the right hand side where it says Audio Video Spotlight, there's a list of the 4 most current sermons. If we click on that, it takes us to a different page, and this player, this black box pops up.
Good morning. This is going to be my...
And as you can see, it's just black. There's no image there. So we're going to be adding an image so we can see an image of our latest podcast here. Okay, so our first step is to go and look for an image for this podcast. We typically go to this website, open.lifechurch.tv, to get our images. Once there, you can either do a search, I believe in you, and try it like that. For some reason it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work. So what I usually do as a backup is I go off to the side here where it says message series, and then I move my mouse over. It says view all message series, and I click on that, and that'll bring up a full list of the sermons, and all you have to do is just scroll down until you find the one that you're looking for, and here it is, I Believe in You. Go ahead and click on that. That takes us to a different page. So there's different types of images you can use. One of these is like this. You could use this image here, but I typically try to match the image on the podcast to the images that are used during the sermon. So you can use that one, or if you go down here below, it's got different images, and I just usually click on the first one and click on preview, and it'll ask you to add an item, or there's different ways of downloading. The easiest way that I have found is just to click on the image and drag it to my computer's desktop, or if you're using Windows, I believe you can just right click on the image and do a file save as. And just make sure you save it somewhere where it's easy to find. So that's our first step, is to find the image and save it to our desktop. I'm going to go ahead and close my internet browser now. And our next step is to resize the image and rename it. So if I double click on my image, it's going to open up in like image editor. In Windows it'll probably be Paint, or it'll probably be something else. Either way, open it up with whatever software you have. We're going to do very simple things to it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to adjust the size. Currently it's 300 wide by 400 high, and the resolution is 300. Don't worry about this number, it's not very important. What we want to do is change the width to 320. But as you notice, the height changed automatically. That's because of this little lock icon. If we unclick that, it'll allow us to change each of these numbers independently. So now we can change it to 240, which is what we need. 320 width, 240 height. The resolution is not important for us, so we'll just hit OK. And that'll resize the image. Looks a little scrunched up, but unfortunately that's the size that we need. So now our next step is to rename it. So we go to Save As, and here I'm just going to call it, I'm going to shorten the name, believe.jpg, and I'm going to save it to my desktop so I know where it is. And just hit save, and here it is. I'm just going to drag it over next to the other picture that I've downloaded, and as you can see, it's a little different size, and the name is obviously different. So I'm going to go ahead and close this program, and now that was step 2, resizing and renaming the image. Next part is to upload the image to our church's website. So let's go back to the internet. We're going to go to our Journey admin page, which is up here. Sorry about that. So here's our admin page, journey/church churchsites.com, and some other information. We want to use login. Okay, once we're in our admin page, we go to main website, we scroll down to AV, and here's a list of sermons. Okay, on the left here, there's videos, Sumpango 2010 sermons, 2011 sermons. So we're going to expand this 2011 sermons by clicking on the plus. As you can see, there's a list of this year's sermons, and some have pictures, most have pictures, some do not. So we're going to be adding this picture to this sermon. So in order to edit this, we have to click on the title, and it'll bring us up to this sermon. The very first section under Edit Media Detail is where we want to be, and the part where we want to be is where it says Audio Image. It says no file exists, no file chosen. Size your image 320 wide by 240 high. So that's why we resized it. So now we're going to click on Choose File, and it's going to allow us to choose a file on our computer. That's why I saved it to my desktop, because that's the easiest place for me to find it. I click on the file that I want, and I hit Open. And as you can see, it says believe.jpg. That's what we want. So now we scroll all the way down and update media. So this is going to save the changes, and we're going to wait for a pop-up to tell us that it was successful. And as you can see, it's saving, and now it says AV media has been updated. That's great. Okay, so now if we expand 2011 sermons, you're going to see the image that we put up there. Great, right? Now let's test it. Let's go back to Journey, our Journey's web page, and let's go back to Audio Video Spotlight. And now when this plays, you should see the image.
Good morning.
And that's it. That's how to add an image to a podcast.